I played bass for the Young Romantics. I always thought playing guitar was cool as a little kid, so I begged my parents for an electric guitar, and they got me one. And then I didn't play it for like 3 years, and then they forced me to take lessons. So then, like 6 years later, I've taken lessons for a little bit. I started playing bass. My friend Clay, dart champion, mastermind, he somehow knew Mitchell, this guitar guy that I play with. He's a strange man. So Clay knew that they needed a bass player, and I had just started playing bass for a couple of years, and I was friends with Clay, and Clay knew Mitchell. And so he introduced me to Mitchell, and then I started playing with them. And we're 3 years later about to release the first album, and I'm excited. We're about to play our last show of 2022. Gonna get some good memories in with that. Release a new album. I think it's our best work yet, for sure. I think we're going good places. I think we've done something really unique with this new one. A little more of a real story, kind of meaning behind all the songs. Onward and upward. I'm faded. I think that's everything I've got in my brain.
Yeah. Oh, 3, 2, you're on. I'm not gonna say one. No, Griffin and I went to high school together, and we always talked about being in a band. And I was like, okay, cool, we'll do that. And then he moved to here, Bowling Green. I was still living in Louisville. Went to a semester of college and then transferred down to here. I sent him a beat one day because I liked to make beats instead of go to class. Or sleep, one of the two. And I was smoking cigs back then, so it was a wild ride. But I did that, sent him a beat one day, and he was like, okay, I have a melody over this right now. I was like, okay. So we're like, where do we record this? And I was like, I guess we could do it in my car, because I had the interface and the microphone and the the Logic and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, cool, we'll just meet in the CVS parking lot and just do it there. So we did that for every song on that EP. And then I made a beat that was basically an entire rip-off of John Mayer, Gravity. It was, hey dude, I protected myself from copyright because it was a full step down and you couldn't even tell.
All of y'all like John Mayer.
Oh, dude, love John Mayer. We should have the same birthday. That's right, when you're sending out gifts, don't forget Johnny.
October 16th.
That's right. Hey, guy, he remembered.
Got the same birthday as Anne Frank. And George H.W. Bush.
Well, yeah, it kind of makes me like, damn, I wish I had a little words in that. Yeah, but I was like, Mitchell, I need you to play on this, because he lived across the hall from Griffin. He would always make noise, and we were all like, damn, he sounds good. Let's get him on this thing.
Did you guys really think that?
Yeah, because you're still in your fucking Stevie Ray, John Mayer phase or whatever, and I think I heard you play like slow dancing one day or something, or you playing some like, and I was like, that's it, that's the sound. Let's take everything this guy knows, which is the A pentatonic scale and maybe a little bit of major sometimes, not always though.
Yeah.
Mostly minor if we're really talking seriously. But no, he recorded on that, and then that did its thing. We made another EP during winter break of 2017, I guess. Yeah, 2017, 2018. We did that, released that, and then Griffin, I think, talked his ass into playing with us. Mitchell didn't like it at first. He thought we were a bunch of schmucks, because he was like, yeah, you make beats, but that's not music,
You want to speak to that?
Yeah, I guess that's where I came in.
That's right, you're there.
He was spot on with the A minor pentatonic and the mostly minors to this day.
That's facts, bro.
Which, who knows if it'll ever change.
We're
But
sad.
yes, I took what I knew and I played on that beat. And honestly, it's kind of blurry. He was definitely right about that, and he was definitely at least semi-right about me being like, you just play on this beat and stuff. They were definitely going for it. I was a little hesitant. I was like, you guys want to play a show, and we don't have a bass player, and we don't have anywhere to practice drums and all of this stuff. I was like, how are we going to do this? And I don't really, it's kind of a blur in between recording that demo on there or that EP.
Yeah.
And playing that first show. Like, I don't remember hanging out with him all that much.
No.
But we lived right across from each other, so we would see each other. And at some point, he asked me to play guitar with him for that show.
Yeah.
And I think, did we get the storage unit for that?
Yeah, I had my dad move my drums down here, and like Mitchell said, we didn't have anywhere to put it, so we had to buy a 5x10 storage unit for a low price of $35 a month.
Yeah, and that's where we practiced.
That's where we did it.
practiced inside of that baby.
Yep, and I had cymbals that were made of plastic.
Were they really?
Oh yeah, that thing was flat by the time I was done with it. And I got a big old bag of cheap sticks, and I was breaking them all the time, and I don't know.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was wild.
But I think we just kind of worked it out, and then we played the first couple of gigs, which were absolutely us just kind of
we were figuring it out.
We were just going for it. There's videos of it, and oh my god,
There's
it's
somewhere.
so bad. Like, it's real bad. But the vibes were great because we were just going for it. Like, we covered Frank Ocean's "Thinking About You."
We covered "I Was Wrong," Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, and then we're just like, we're gonna do it, and it was weird. But some time passed. I think we played like 2 gigs without any bass player.
Yeah, it was god awful.
And eventually we moved out of the dorms and we got apartments, which opens up your freedom of doing what you want a little bit. And I was playing a lot more guitar because we were getting a little bit more serious, at least just trying to make music, because we all just wanted to make music. And my buddy from high school hit me up and said he knows a guy that plays bass here that wants to jam. So that's where I met Garrett Patrick, who he was basically in the same boat as us. He just wanted to play, and we were the only people he knew that wanted to play. So very quickly it became, hey, well, we're going to jam. And then we had another gig, and I was like, well, we got a gig booked, and we don't have a bass player. Would you fill in? And then we had our first gig. I don't even know how many times we all 4 met together.
I think, because we were practicing at this house he rented from the guy that owned it, who also lived there. And his garage was, like, just full of shit. So we, like, crawled our way into it and set up this mock practice space. And, like, I think that's, like, the first time I had met Garrick. And like immediately I was like, oh, this guy's like played before.
Yeah, he was more of a veteran. He had been in bands before he had gigged. And basically all of that kind of led up to us having our first gig together, where it came time for us to sound check. And none of us knew how to sound check. And the sound guy made fun of us. He literally mocked us.
He's like, you guys gonna play notes or just have fun or what?
Yeah, I distinctly remember him being like, hey, it's time to sound check, and then some dead air happened, and then he just went, hey, are we here to play music or what are we here to do? And it was like, oh god, we were so nervous. And Garrett just was like, write a song, let's do it. And then we literally did our opening song, which was a terrible idea.
Horrible move.
But
what was that song?
It was Spinning.
Yeah.
It was Spinning.
Hilariously enough, we had, oh my god, I didn't even remember that. Hilariously enough, we wrote that during those like 5 practices before that show.
Yeah. We were writing like 2 songs. Garrick wrote Spinning, the guitar and the bass parts, for the most part at least. I changed the guitar part a little bit. And then I took that to Griffin and wrote the words with him, and then we brought it together. and I wrote heads down.
Mhm.
And then I brought that to the guys, and we worked that out. And then I think we wrote a song. I think we played Here Again on that show, didn't we? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And we wrote that
Terrible.
at some point. And so we had a little micro 20-minute set, 25-minute set.
Mhm.
And we covered I Was Wrong Again, which was terrible again.
Horrible. God awful.
And that night was the night we became a band. All of our cars got towed,
That's right.
except
We
for
got
mine.
we got paid in beer that night.
Yeah.
I
I remember Garrick afterwards. I thought we did so poorly that Garrick, in his maturity,
Yeah.
because he was definitely more mature than us at the time,
Definitely.
I thought he was so disappointed in me and us that he was going to get mad at us and basically like, oh, okay, and just kind of awkwardly hang around until he left and never talked to us again.
Yeah.
But he stepped outside and our cars were towed, and he could get, he was a bit of an intense, angry guy sometimes. I remember it was like a
Facts.
movie, and he just went, our car, okay, I'm in this. I need a minute. I need a beer. I need a minute. And then he just went inside. But before he was
Yeah.
like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I need a beer.
Yeah.
And then he just went by himself.
Yeah. Then him and I walked to the tow place at 2:00 in the morning. This is terrible.
You are in your blue collar face.
Bro, that's the arc of a drummer, dude. You come in, you're all pissed off and angry, so you're like, I'm a punk drummer, dude. Here we go.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait, what am I going to do besides this? And it's like, oh yeah, manual labor. So let me talk like this.
Yeah.
Make some buddies at work and wear camo for some reason.
It's because you're trying to fit in, or blend in rather.
You're
Not.
damn right I am, baby.
You're blending in, man.
Thank God for that, because I wouldn't have lasted.
Yeah, but that's how we came into our first, like, when he earlier said, he's like, whatever I said about the beats, where I was like,
You're not
"Oh,
really a
that's not
band, and
serious,
then
you're not
we were a band, you know?
And then after that show, we were a band, you know?
Yeah.
And so we just kept doing that, and
Played some more shows.
what shocked me, I think the biggest thing is, like, right after that, keep in mind, I'm very critical of myself and everything, so I was, like, already thinking Garrick was just gonna leave.
Yeah.
Then he's like, oh no, we're in this. That was a shock to me. Then we all go out to El Maz,
Yeah.
and he brings up recording. He's like, oh, we're recording. And I was like, what? Like, that, to me at the time, blew my mind, because I never thought I was good enough to record, let alone what we had was good enough. And he was like, oh, we're doing it.
Yeah.
I think we need to do that soon. And Griffin's on the same vibe, so he's like, I'm doing that. And then me and Matt kind of fit into the same category of just followed. We were like,
That's right.
I guess we're doing it.
That's facts.
And then we did.
Yep.
And then we did, and that became In Case You Feel the Same.
That's right. Recorded that in a shed. A lot of anger.
It was a good shed.
A lot of
It
madness.
was not a bad shed. It was a nice shed.
It was good. It had a mini split in it with a good old AC unit, but we had to turn off during recording, and it got too hot.
It was
Actually,
hot.
about the size of this room, if not just a little bit bigger.
I think it was slightly bigger, but yeah.
Where was that recorded?
Paradise Point.
Oh, yeah.
It was recorded at a place called Paradise Point, which is a country store.
Right.
Where is that?
Scottsville,
Barron
baby.
County.
Is it-
Barron County.
No,
I
Max's
was-
parents owned that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Max Erskine's family.
Yeah.
They own that.
It's basically a psychedelic Cracker Barrel.
I've been a few times.
It
It's honestly
really
the best
is.
way to put it.
It's a psychedelic Cracker Barrel that's based on love and joy.
That's right.
Don't postpone joy.
That sign's
is,
right out front.
that is the sign. That is the saying of Paradise Point.
Along with like a life-size hot dog man. So
Yeah.
You're getting both vibes. You're getting happiness is coming, and you're also going terror. But that's okay.
We were definitely so new to it. It was so scary to record things. I remember I played a solo on Spinning and I couldn't get it right. And basically what happened was Max, the producer, said, and get some food.
Yeah.
And you will just find the best take. And I literally played with a loop for like 30 minutes.
That's
playing
right.
the same solo.
That's right.
And then I stopped it and I was like, all right, we got it. Because we were just we were new to
They
it.
were pushing. Oh, am I on? Is this thing on? Is my microphone on? Cool. So yeah, the next project we did was In Case You Don't. Garrick had already left at that point. Poor Gabe had to learn all his bass parts, and they were not easy. and he deserves a lot of credit because he's a warrior, that's for sure. But
he went through it.
he learned it real good. He made cliche fun though. So a funny thing about cliche is, I don't know if you guys can find this on the internet somewhere or whatever. The single art we used was a Polaroid that was taken at a New Year's Eve party. And so here's the thing. I know, here we go. So one of our mutual friends was like, hey, let me take a photo for you guys, whatever. We're like, okay, cool. So Griffin's sitting on my left, Mitchell's sitting on my lap on my right. So we're getting ready to take the picture. Mitchell rips he rips ass. And it's one of the funniest things ever, and that's why we look so insane on that.
You're forgetting something else.
What am I forgetting?
Upon knowing what I know now, reflecting on that, that was a crazy moment of synchronicity.
It was.
I forget how it happened, but the chaos was emerging
That's right.
so vividly. I forget in what order, but we were chilling. A drink was spilled.
That's right.
And it broke on the ground.
That's right.
And I farted. I think I farted, and then the drink was spilled, and we were in this room.
That's right.
And the love was in the air.
That's right.
And it was cheek. And that pretty much summed up how that whole period of our lives
That's
went.
right.
Because
That's
then it shot us into, in case you don't.
Yeah, a lot of laughs, a lot of farts.
A lot of crying, a lot of confusion.
God, yeah, because
Yeah,
Gabe wasn't even in the band at that point when we took that photo, because that was New Year's of 2020. Like, it was literally probably a few minutes after midnight or before. I can't remember.
I think I got there before the ball dropped. So
Yeah.
it was like right
Yeah,
after.
you like showed up like at the last minute.
Showed up.
Man, I can't remember that, but that was a good time. That was a good time.
That was
We
good.
were all, I was dressed up in that red shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know what I was wearing, but I guess it was probably that flannel because it was on the same thing as in that photo.
You had that Chicago Music Exchange shirt on.
Did
That's
I?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying.
Yeah.
Hey man, you gotta find
Big
a sponsor
beard.
somewhere.
Big beard.
Yeah.
So I gotta find a sponsor somewhere.
That's right.
Don't put that on me.
Hey bro, bring out L8. If L8 listening, we want your
Oh, I
shit.
thought you were like an AA sponsor.
Jesus, man. Let's not go too deep on this. We gotta keep it fun. The kids are there. They're learning.
I think it was Mitchell who got Gabe though. I think.
Yeah, Mitchell did get Gabe.
I'm good at getting my.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
look
fat,
at
bro.
him. Gabe's a good vibe. You're a good vibe, Gabe.
Yeah, you know who wears the pants.
But
in
it was
the side,
similar. It was similar to Garrick. You know, a buddy hit me up, and was like, "Hey, you want to jam with my friend?" And then that was Gabe, which he already told you that story. And he was a nice guy, and he
Nice
played
kid.
really well, and he wasn't obnoxious, and you could tell he was quiet, and that's who I like. I like quiet people.
Well, we were like practicing at Nina's place too, and like I feel like we just threw Gabe into the mix.
Well, we already had like 5 shows booked or something stupid, and we were like, "Oh yeah, we booked these shows. Gabe, are you ready to play 5 shows?"
Yeah, I think.
And he was like, "Yeah, dude. What are you talking
We
about?
played
That's what I
one
came to."
show. We played one show together once I joined the band.
That's right.
And then COVID hit.
That's
and
right.
We didn't play any shows for about like a year.
And then we didn't talk.
Yeah.
So I played one show and then never again for
Was that at Ted Balls?
yeah.
Yeah. What show was that? I'm trying to think.
That was after we played with Brian. So
Oh, was that that wasn't Jeff Knight?
was that
it?
Blackpool?
Blackpool might have been with Brian.
I don't remember, but I think
I
the
forget.
important thing here is that we got Gabe, and it just slowly. It was like anything in life, you know. We kind of asked him to be in the band basically by asking him to play these gigs, and then he just stuck around, and we kept getting to know each other, and
And then he learned all
before
his
you-
songs.
Yeah, before you know it, it's kind of like, hey, are we doing this? And it's like, yeah, of course we're doing this, and the rest was history. And then we started recording during COVID.
Yeah, because COVID
Right.
hit and we were all. I think we chilled for a second. We just didn't know what to do, and then I basically hit up Max and was like, "Hey, would you record another project with us?" And everyone was into it. It was kind of like
Well,
we had all the
first,
songs.
we went to another studio and tracked it. when we were very new to each
Bad.
other.
Bad.
It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't the vibe we wanted, and it was gonna be a little expensive, and we were also new to it. We were just having fun. I mean, I still got footage of like me. I ripped my shirt off and was like jiggling my nipples when Griffin was doing his vocal take.
That's right.
I probably scared the shit out of Justin, who we recorded with, but I think he was vibing. But
Man.
then we asked Max, and we were just like, we got a take, and we don't know if it's good, and would you give us a deal basically to do it? And then we did. So
Yeah.
because we already knew the environment, and so we went back to the psychedelic Cracker Barrel.
Do y'all want to talk about y'all's new stuff at all? Or do y'all want to wait on that?
Ooh. It's hard because I feel like the new stuff and everything leading up to it and the whole process, it would be a whole long conversation, but
Would be.
Oh yeah, because y'all stayed at Thunder Sound that whole week.
Yeah, we stayed there the whole time, man. It was a lot of laughs, a lot of food that showed up that we didn't know was there.
Oh yeah.
We had like 150 eggs. A lot of yelling going on. It was pretty fun, actually. I like the yelling. It puts me to bed.
We did. Tell them about the live tracking.
Oh, live tracking. Oh, let me tell you something about this live tracking, dude. Never put a metronome in my ear because I'm never going to get it right.
did they do that to you?
Oh, they've done it. They've tried.
Did they?
Sure.
When?
Why you a bit here?
I actually thought they did.
No, it's fine, man. Hey, man, you can do what you want. No, there's this,
Aw.
there's a couple metronomes out there that they still don't like me, and it's fine. But our live track was fun, man. We got the sound of how it actually was.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted, because you come to a live show, I don't want to hear your synth backing tracks. I don't want to hear your atmosphere. You bring the atmosphere. If you're angry, the crowd's gonna be angry. And that's honestly my goal through all of this, is to be mad.
Jeez Louise.
But I'll tell you this, though. When I'm mad, it brings out the best in me. When Mitchell's sensitive, it brings out the best in him. When Griffin's got his mind going 1,000 miles an hour, and he goes, "Hey, you get to practicing those drums, monkey." And I go like this, and Gabe's high shit, and he goes, and he'll play me this bass riff, and I'm like, "Damn, dude, that's sick. Let me start playing with it." He goes, "I already forgot, I'm too high." And
That's only 99% true.
But that 1%, dude, became Secret Church, so let's not get rid of that,
No, it's usually me being very sad, Matt being on the couch, disassociating.
I do it well.
Griffin trying to get everyone to work, and then Gabe just looks around and goes, "What's going on here?" And then he just goes, "I'm gonna leave," and then he's gone for about 4 hours. And
then he comes back and just lays it down.
And then Griffin goes, "Hey guys, I think we all need to get together and do this." And then of course Gabe is the one that just lays it down, and somehow we all kind of lay it down similarly, and then we're like,
Yeah, that's facts.
"Oh wow, what happened?" And then we go right back to the other shit.
I can see all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
we're
think,
idiots.
like, Secret Church was definitely, we first started getting into the flow of just playing live tracking all the same, everyone playing on In Case You Don't with like Put You Through and Cliche, I guess.
Yeah.
But I would say that Secret Church felt like the first time that we were like, I don't want to say good enough as a band, but it felt like we were at our most comfortable point, definitely, to where we could
Yeah, comfortable's a good word.
play the music that way and just really be okay with any of the inconsistencies or
Yeah,
natural
it definitely
things.
felt different than when I said we recorded In Case You Don't.
Yeah.
Where Garrick and Griffin wanted to record, and me and Matt were like, "Oh, well, I guess we will." This was more like, we're going to record a full length and we're going to go do it.
Yeah.
And we knew we could.
Right.
We all knew we could.
Yeah.
And then we did.
I'd say we were pretty focused going into.
Oh yeah, we were lit.
Dude, we showed
Yeah.
up. It snowed. Mitchell went out there, took his shirt off again, and got outdoors, which I thought was very masculine of him.
You like that?
I did, yeah. It was
Why are you
great.
always putting that on me?
With the masculine thing? Well, because I'm a very feminine guy, and I go outside. It's a little cold out, and I go, I'm a little chilly. I need to put on a hoodie.
Maybe that's
you know?
why we get along.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Yin and yang, chaos and order, whatever you want
You
to
get mad on a podcast.
Yeah, he'd love it.
What I am interested.
You guys are damaged, huh?
Gabe, how would you talk about the experience? Because I feel like we talk a lot.
What's so funny? Yeah, it snowed. We lived there for 7 days. I don't know, it's so funny.
I'm getting a lot of mixed signals.
No,
Okay.
really, it came out awesome.
It did.
The final product is amazing.
Yeah.
I think so.
If you don't listen to it, you're gonna join a cult.
I know.
Oh,
Some of
okay.
us
So
don't.
let me tell you this little story. So my sister had a friend from high school. She was nice there for a minute, I guess. Went to college, got involved with this cult. ? She like cut off all of her friends. Was like, I can't talk to you. I can only talk to people in this one thing. The community was called Secret Church. I threw it out there one day as kind of a joke and was like, hey guys, we need to like make a cult to make it interesting or something. And then it was like, oh, Secret Church that's the name of it, right? And yeah, that's basically how it came up.
Yeah, it was very much. Matt was just talking about it for fun, just to like be like, can you believe how crazy this is?
Just for a bit, you
And
know?
Mitchell picked it out of the air and said, that's the name of the album,
Yeah.
Secret Church.
That's right.
And it kind of just stuck.
It did.
It was perfect.
It was there.
It feels a lot more cohesive than the other projects.
Okay.
It feels like there's actually kind of a story going on. It feels a lot less like independent ideas meshed together into one project.
Yeah.
Everything feels kind of connected.
Definitely feels like the most conceptual thing. we've
Yeah, that's
done
kind
so
of
far.
what I meant.
And I think we probably were trying to be semi-conceptual with all of them, but
Yeah.
I think this one just had the most contemplation time prior to, and
Mhm.
I think we were confident enough to really believe what we were saying this go round more
Mhm.
so than we ever have, which I think did something to it. That one, it definitely feels like it feels like a big snowball to me that just keeps rolling downhill, and it's felt like the biggest snowball so far to me. And I was like thinking about it a couple days ago, like how much it's felt like it's grown since even when we recorded it at the beginning of this year. It's pretty interesting. I don't really understand it, but
Not worth understanding. You gotta think of it how it is, and it's insane that in 5 days Gorgeous got like almost 6,000 views or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's insane.
who knows? Yeah, that was literally just the end of the session. We just did that.
I think we had like 2 hours left. And I think we recorded it. We finished recording with like 10 minutes to go. Or
Yeah.
something insane like that.
Pretty close.
And then there it is. You guys can stream it on Spotify. You can follow us on Instagram. You can go to our website, you know. Yeah, we're the first thing that comes up when you type in Younger Mingdix on YouTube, you know. That's pretty sick, honestly, because there was that stupid Australian band that had the same name. But they've been inactive for at least 3-4 years, so. And our name's copyrighted, too, so don't try to steal my shit. Thanks.
And
Just going. Yeah. Cool. What's up, y'all? I'm here with Jay Willis, producer at Thunder Sound in Franklin, Kentucky. I've been a few times, and we're going to talk about the Young Romantics, the Secret Church, and maybe some other stuff because I know he's been around. A lot of their material does sound a lot for them when they play balls. So what's some of the highlights from the new album, the whole process?
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, probably the highlight is being able to watch them do their thing in a setting that feels organic. They definitely take pride in and do a really good job of getting just that raw emotion. You know what I mean? It feels like a raw and real thing versus being contrite and overly washed out.
Yeah. Sometimes they put live videos. They just put one out a few minutes ago from Thunder Sound, and they got clips of like Griffin while he's not singing. He's just got this like face like full of like whatever he's trying to evoke, and the music is just powerful. And yeah, they definitely have that raw emotion going on.
Yes.
I guess I've got to hear some of the new stuff. What's probably your favorite track from the new stuff, the new album?
That is hard. I would say it's a contest between probably Red Light or probably Fast Dancing.
And Fast Dancing was the last single that they just put out a while back, but still. And you can find that, actually it's here now. That was the last one.
Correct.
Anyway, yeah, Fast Dancing. So I don't do, obviously, a lot of the technical things with music. I just film. What, I guess, does it look like to be a producer? Oh yeah, what does it look like to be in a booth? Like, what does it take to make, I guess, a secret church from any perspective?
Sure. I mean, well, what it takes from both sides, you know, if you're at, you know, wondering about the live aspect of what it would be like here, it's, you know, it's definitely watching and listening to bands and flowing with them as they go, just from a pure mixing standpoint. When it comes to the studio, I would say it's trying to keep the mentality of like recording at all times or capturing that lightning in a bottle, because they are that kind of band where they want that live feel, they want that energy, and they want to be a band. And anybody who is in producing or mixing or in the audio world knows what that means when I say they want to be a band. It's that they don't want to have to go through that process of like, okay, well, we have to overdub every, you know, P's and Q's till we're sick. So.
Behind the scenes, they told me a little bit about what that week looked like at Thunder Sound. They said with this like there was some a lot of good food that just kind of showed up. There were times when people would not be present, and then they would come back and they would just kill it after being gone for hours. I don't know, like, did you like to be involved with any of like? I mean, you did, so I guess what did that kind of behind the scenes look like?
I mean, that week was just, I mean, it sounds a little goofy or maybe oversimplified, but it was a fun week. It was, if I could have my mental picture of what fun means to me, that week was just fun, and it was a lot of dudes just getting around a studio and making cool music. It was that encapsulated with antics that were just like entirely antics that only that we would find funny, probably. You know what I mean? It's you know, everything down to and everything else going on. But man, that's you know, not to shamelessly plug my own studio, but man, it's like that's the beauty of Thunder Sound. It's a place for people to come and have an experience that rather unfortunately can't really get a lot of other places.
Yeah, just to kind of speak to that, they put out a recent freebie for 2 bands to get a song recorded, mixed, and all the fun stuff. And I'll just say from like a personal perspective, I've been there a few times, and every time I'm there, new people are there. It's genuine. They really care. They really get down to the nitty gritty to make sure that A, we're doing the right thing, but B, that like, it's being done properly. And even if there's like one hiccup, I know they'll go back and fix that. So you really do, I think, get the most genuine experience with Thunder Sound. And it's like a beautiful campus too, so it's a great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about the album or just working with them? How long have you known them, by the way?
You know, I was actually thinking about that earlier. My memory's terrible, but I want to say I've probably known the boys now for maybe going on 2 years, maybe. You know, it was funny. I first met them, I believe, through Max, because he was working on their stuff, and I kind of seen them up around town. And actually, if I remember correctly, probably the first time I actually met them was here at Tip Office when they were playing a show. And actually, no joke, the first time that I saw these guys, actually, hold up, I'm sorry, I take that all back. The first time that I think I actually met these guys or saw these guys was at Mellow Mats, actually. They were doing the little Mellow Mats. Yes, yeah.
It's just coming up soon.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And I remember doing sound for them at that venue, and it was actually hilarious because my first initial thought was like, I do not like these guys. I can already tell, like, I'm not gonna like these guys. I just want to get this over with. And lo and behold, I love those guys. Man, it's like, you know, it's like they truly are some cool dudes. And we've had some fun times, and I can't wait to see what they do from here. And I think the album's going to be great. All of you should go check it out, listen to it, check out the 2 singles that have already dropped too. You know, it's going to be a good time. So
Cool. All right. Thanks, Jay.
yes, sir.
Not for the camera, Pat.
Excuse me. Very nice.
Y'all good?
Great.
I think so.
Cool. All right. Well, what's up, y'all? We are at Max's house. Kudos to him for all this bass and the mic technology. I don't really understand. Max was on the Secret Church album with the Young Romantics. We actually have Griffin with us again today as well. Yeah. So Max already told me a little bit about how it was for him to, help record that and produce that. Do you want to talk a little bit just about that from your side of things?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, we had a lot of planning that went into this, a long period of pre-production leading up to the actual session. We were at the studio for 8 days in a row in January of 2022, and it snowed while we were there at a degree in which we weren't able to leave the studio, but fortunately we had prepared enough because we were already planning on being there that it became this magical experience of being snowed in at Thunder Sound. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, we were doing 14-hour days pretty much the whole time. So that was a little tiring, but, a good tiring. But we just bumped the camera. It was a really good experience. So we had a lot of opportunities where we got to try out things, different amps, different mics, different guitars, and we were able to really learn a lot from the process and come up with some tones that we were really happy with the results that we got. Came up with ideas on the spot, changed things as we rolled, and the whole thing came together really organically. It just felt like an extension of the place and the atmosphere and the people. It all felt like it was just one thing working towards one goal.
Do you want to talk about this weekend at all? The show that's coming up? I mean, will we hear any of that on there?
Yeah, I think so. We haven't practiced for that show just yet. We're practicing actually tomorrow.
Okay.
So we'll get some of that stuff hammered out
Yeah.
and figured out.
Cool.
But it's always a little bit of by the show, by the feeling in that moment type of deal.
Yeah. And then how was the
The announcement party.
Yeah.
They invited us to play that because it was just an opportunity for them to kind of have some people gather on a weekday and kind of just show some excitement for the bands that are playing it this year. And they were so kind to ask us to play for that announcement party, and we really appreciate those guys and think they do some cool stuff. So we're very happy to do it, man.
Max, what would you say was one of your favorite parts of that week?
There's a lot of really great moments. I think one particular moment that just felt really special to me. We were working on the song Hair Down, and Mitchell was working on his guitar part for it. He's playing it, and as he was playing, I was just hearing something in my head, and I was like, hey, you mind if I come out there and work out something with you? So I went out there and showed him this idea that I had, and then he went with it and rolled with it, and it ended up becoming like the guitar part in the song. And it was a good moment, I was hesitant to ask y'all to change something you had written to an idea that I had, but I felt comfortable enough, at that point with you guys that I didn't think that you would be upset by the suggestion, But it was really cool to see it kind of come to fruition and become the line in the song that I still am so very attached to.
Love that.
I don't know, packing up is probably the worst moment.
Okay, that's cool.
I can't really remember any particularly negative moments. There's funny, silly moments like a certain someone spilling things many times. But
There was a lot of that.
all in good fun.
Was this your first time working with them, or have you worked together since before?
This is the third project that we've done together. Yeah, so we did the first 2 EPs out at my old project studio. That was before I was working at Thunder.
Is that at Paradise Point?
Yeah, exactly. It's good times.
Erskine sound, man.
Yeah. Officially, that's technically what my freelance business name is still. Erskine Sound. But yeah, so at this point, we had already had some time together and built up a relationship, so felt like a secret 5th member of the band.
I would say that.
I don't know, is there anything else you want to share from that week or from that project? You too, Griffin? Just anything that would be of interest?
That's crazy. It's more than a year ago at this point.
I don't know. I think for me, it was, it kind of felt like the first time, because we had done the projects at Erskine Sound and Paradise Point. That was always kind of a, let's meet up on the weekend and put in some time and kind of just spread across months. Whereas with Thunder, it was just 8 days. We're going to do it all during that time period. And everyone was not working. Everyone was completely committed doing that work during those 8 days. So that was kind of the most legit experience I had had, and I think that all of us had to that point. So that made it very special to me, just being able to do that, especially with someone like Max, who does know us and who knows our music. And you kind of pick up on how each other work when you do multiple things together. So really brought a special magic to it.
one's for dancing, everybody. Wanna dance a little bit?
was a bad girl. He was a little bit too much. Never did a really say you're gorgeous, but you're goddamn gorgeous. And I see your